Wow, I have been waiting to make this video for a very long time, and I'm very excited to be sharing this information with you. Chances are, if you're watching this video, then you're like many millions of Americans and other people in the world who never seem to have enough time. And I'm making this video for a lot of reasons, but my hopes is that if you watch this video and the series of videos that follows it, and you execute on what I share with you, you will be able to truly break free. You will be able to truly get your time back in a way that doesn't negatively impact your income. If you follow all the steps in this video, I can promise you, I can guarantee you that you will get at least 15 to 20 hours back a week. So if that sounds good, buckle up, because we're gonna go through every step and break down exactly how you can start getting more and more time back in a way that really works and can happen pretty quickly if you actually follow the process. This initially became an idea for me because I was really struggling with stress. And maybe you're struggling with stress, or you're overwhelmed, or there's just never enough time to do the things that you actually want to do, especially take care of yourself. So for me, it was all about minimizing stress, but then it was also about freeing up the time while still being able to make money so that I could spend time on my health. And that's what we talk about on this channel. We talk about health, wellness, biohacking, lifestyle, and now time freedom. And the reason why this time freedom thing is so important is because I believe that if you don't have time, you can't really consider what it is you truly want. You don't actually have the space to develop a connection with yourself and really question, what is it that I want to create? What is it that I want to get out of life? And there's no time for self-reflection. There's no time for evaluating, are you actually on the right track? And then in order to actually build great habits and to have a healthy lifestyle, I believe having an abundance of time to spend on those things, whether it's a meditation practice, or whether it's a movement practice, or whether it's spending time in community, or whether it's giving back, all these things, they take time. We only have so much time, so we get to decide where that time is allocated towards. And using these systems, using these processes, you'll be able to evaluate what is it that you really want to spend time on, and then get rid of the rest. This series was a little bit inspired by another YouTuber named Nathaniel Drew, who did a series called Going Essentialist. I've been heavily influenced by Greg McKeown, who's the author of the book Essentialism. So in that same vein, I'm gonna make a series just like Nathaniel did. Big shout out to Nathaniel Drew. And I'm gonna put more of a sort of business spin on it and more of a systems perspective, as that's been my approach to creating what I believe is a meaningful life through Essentialism. I've been very fortunate, very blessed to have such amazing mentors in my life, people who have taught me and have cut the learning curve quite a bit in order to actually make this a reality. And just to give you some perspective, I work somewhere between 15 and 25 hours a week, and I make a very good living. And I do what I love to do. I work with health and wellness companies, and I help them with their video marketing, and I help them get their products into the hands of lots and lots of people. And I'm continuing to grow my business while not having necessarily to spend more and more time on it. Now, I recognize that I am a single guy in his 20s without kids, and how that does make things a lot simpler. But these tools and these systems are applicable to anyone, especially people who have kids, who have a significant other, who have other responsibilities. If you have a big team, all these things are going to make your life a lot easier, even more than if you don't have tons of other obligations and tons of other responsibilities. Because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm going to be speaking specifically about how this works inside of an organization. But if you have a job or you're a solopreneur, this works just the same, and you can apply all these things regardless of if you have a team or if you have a business. Just think about how you can do this within inside of your organization or within inside of your family unit or whatever. Most of these ideas have derived from the business world for me through my mentors, people like Austin Netzley, people like Sam Ovens, people like Tim Ferriss and Ari Meisel, and lots of people who have given me a different perspective in the way that I can operate within my business and the way that I can operate in life. And I think it all starts with just taking a look at what's really going on and evaluating. And so I want to just mention that these ideas that I've created, they're not necessarily original. and I've just compiled all of them to make it into my own sort of system, and I've been heavily influenced by many people, but I'm very excited to consolidate this information and give it to you in a way that's packaged and it's easily digestible. This video is going to break down the framework and the overarching principles, and then in each video we're going into specific detail of how to actually apply this, and I'll give you templates and I'll give you resources and I'll give you all the things that you need in order to do this for yourself. The framework that I've created is called the ESCAPE plan. Okay, ESCAPE is an acronym. E is for examine, S is for select, C is for cut out, A is automate, P is process and systematize, and E is empower and delegate. In the examine section, we're going to evaluate and understand where your time is actually going and audit your activity. In the S phase, we're going to select what it is that you actually want to do. What do you love doing and want to continue doing? What do you love doing but don't necessarily have to do? What you don't like but has to get done? And what you don't like but doesn't need to get done. In the C phase, we're gonna look at things that you're doing that you actually don't have to be doing, and we're gonna cut them out. We're gonna get rid of them. We're going to excavate that part of our lives and just toss it. It is non-essential, as Greg McEwen would say. In the automation phase, we're gonna look at the activities that you're doing but you don't want to be doing, but can be replaced with softwares. So we'll take that software and we'll take that technology and we'll use these tools to remove ourselves from that specific activity. In the process and systematize phase, anything that we can't automate with a software or using technology, we are going to create a process for, and we're going to turn it into a system. Anything that we do can be turned into a system, turned into a process by which someone else is going to eventually take it off our hand. We're going to use something called a playbook to organize all of our processes so that they are searchable and they are easy to understand and to replicate. In the final phase, this is where we are going to empower and delegate those processes that we have created for ourselves that we couldn't automate and that we couldn't get rid of. This is going to be one of the most powerful exercises for you because this is where you let go. This is where you surrender your control. And that might sound scary to some of you, and I totally recognize that. I was there, and I want to tell you that there is someone out there in the world who would love to do the job that you hate for a very affordable price, and they will be very excited about that work. They'll be very excited to take that thing off your plate and do it for you and to get paid accordingly for that activity. But this is not just taking something and handing it off. It's about empowering that person and propping them up, letting them know that they can take full ownership over whatever this thing is so that it doesn't take up any more brain space for us, and it also frees up that time fully. Look, to some of you, this may sound like a lot, and I know, I get it. It's simpler than you think. Once I break it down, that's why I'm making these video series for you. So it's literally I'm gonna be holding your hand through this whole process. You're not gonna have any questions on what to do. It might take a little bit to get going, and you might be thinking like, but Kyle, I don't have the time to even get my time back. That's exactly why you need to do this. The reason why you can't is the reason why you must. Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you keep doing things the same way that you've always done them, then you're gonna keep getting the same type of result. You're gonna keep living the same type of way. So things need to change. And so we're gonna take some time initially. Yes, it is gonna take time to think and put all these things on paper, to write out the processes, to set up the software. All these things take time. Once you set this up, it's done. You create it once and it goes to work for you. It's not like something you have to continuously keep doing over and over and over again. This is literally gonna peel back your time so quickly you can't even begin to comprehend. One of the main reasons why I'm making this series of videos is I want to remove people's excuses, and I'm really making this for myself, an older version of myself, and some of my friends. So when someone joins my Facebook group, I have a series of questions asking people about what's going on with their health. And when they come into the group, I ask them what is the thing that's holding them back from their biggest health goal. The challenge that came up more than anything else was time. And I saw that people really thought that they didn't have enough time, and going through this exercise can really help you either figure out that you do have enough time, or that you are wasting a lot of your time and someone else could be doing that thing that you don't like doing, or there's lots of things in your life that you can just get rid of that are taking up time that don't even need to be being done. So this is one of the most powerful exercises to help you get clear on where your time is actually going, and then zero in on what is important and channel all your energy into that. Because here's the deal, we're not human doings, we're human beings. And you need the time, you need the space in order to actually feel what is going on in your life, to actually sit with yourself, to actually be with yourself. There's no ability to actually really build that relationship with yourself if you don't have any time. You don't even know what you really want until you hit the pause button and you enter into the nothingness. That's a whole nother conversation that we're gonna have in a later video in this series about filling the void once you open up the time, because it's not about just having tons of time, because with no structure and nothing to spend your time in, then you're going to lose yourself. You'll distract yourself. You're going to be isolated because no one else lives that way. But it's about taking some of your responsibilities that are off your plate and giving them to someone else so that you can focus on what's most important for you. So I'm very excited to see you in this series of videos, and I will see you in the next one, which will be linked up whenever it goes live somewhere in this general vicinity. Okay? Talk soon.